Hi guys, a very warm welcome. And in this video, we are going to look into the working of the Route 53 and what are the components that we need to create when we work on the Route 53 service. So here you can see that I have logged in into the AWS console, and what we need to do is we just have to search for the Route 53 service, which is a global service. Here you can find Route 53 scalable DNS and domain name registration. So we just have to click on it. And let's wait for the dashboard to appear. Alright. So now on this Route 53 console, we can either register the domains. That means if you want to purchase a new domain also, you can get it from the Route 53. What you need to do is you have to go to the domains. Under the domains, there is an option called register domains. So just click on it and then you can search for the domain that you are looking for. Accordingly, you can add to the cart. Other than that, how we can work on Route 53 for routing the traffic or pointing the traffic towards the instances or resources where our web applications are running. So what we need to do is, first we have to create a hosted zone. This is important because when we create a hosted zone, we get some name server or record sets. And those name servers needs to be updated at a place from where you have purchased the actual domain. So what we need to do, we have to first create a hosted zone, and here we need to provide the domain. So let's say I put something like cloudconsult.com as a domain. And it is going to be the public hosted zone for us because the domain is outside AWS. I purchased that from GoDaddy. So click on create a hosted zone, and here you would find a hosted zone will be created for cloudconsult.com where we get 4 name servers, and these are the 4 name servers on which the DNS name is going to be resolved. And that is why 4 name servers are provided to us because Route 53 provides us the extra redundancy. And then we have a start of authority or SOA. This is primarily used for creating an internal domain. So we don't have to focus on SOA as of now. What we need to do is we have to copy each and every name server and then update that in the DNS records of our domain at a place from where we have purchased the domain. So I have a domain from GoDaddy. Here you can see. Once you open up the domain, what you need to do, you just have to click on name servers and change it. So you have to go to the name servers and click on change. After that, it will give you an option. So let me show you. Let's say if I click on change and it asks me, do I have to enter my own name servers? I'll select yes. And here under the name server 1 and name server 2, we have to copy the name server provided by the Route 53 hosted zone, and we have to be sure that we are excluding the last dot. We just have to copy till here. Copy that and paste it on the name server record of the GoDaddy domain. Similarly, the second one, and paste it. So generally, in most of the scenarios, you get 2 name servers, but the good thing is Route 53 offers you 4 name servers. Likewise, what you need to do, you have to add all the 4 name servers. It is mandatory. So likewise, you can add name server and you get the further columns added. Alright? Oh, sorry, further rows added. So name server 3 is there, name server 4 is there. You can just put the values from the Route 53 hosted zone and save it. So I'm not going to make any changes because this is a live domain. So I'm not going to make any additional changes over it. Once it is done, then the next thing is you have to create a record set. Record sets are primarily created when you have to route a traffic towards a source where your actual website or a web application is running. So once the DNS server sends the request to the Route 53 over the hosted zone, then the Route 53 forwards that request to the record set. So whatever the record set that you have created, accordingly the request or the traffic would be sent. And accordingly, in the Route 53 record set, you can actually select the different routing policies that we discussed in the theory class. So now the next thing is we need to create a record, and you need to specify the domain. Let's say I put something like www.cloudconsult.com, and you can select a record type. Let's say if your record type is an IP address, let's say it's running on an EC2 instance, your website, and it has an IP address. So you want to route the traffic directly to an IP address, then it is going to be route traffic A. In case if you want to route the traffic towards a domain name, internal domain name or the DNS, then you can go for CNAME. Likewise, you can read about the different type of record types, and it requires more understanding from the web development perspective. But what we need to understand right now is that with the help of a record set, we can point the traffic towards a resource where our actual application or a website is running. So let's say if I select a record type A, and is it an alias? No, we are using an IP address. And here what we can do, we can put the IP address of our instance. So it is advisable that you put the public IP of your instance. You can assign an elastic IP to your instance and put it here, and click on create a record. So once you create a record, and since the routing policy that is reflected is the simple routing. So what happens? The entire traffic from the cloudconsult.com will be routed to the IP address of your instance. Likewise, if you want to change the routing policy, you can go for weighted, geolocation, latency, failover, multi-value answer, and the IP based routing policies, and accordingly you can distribute the traffic towards your resources on the website. Once you create a record, just wait for a few minutes, and after that you can use this URL and get the web page from the AWS resource where your website or an application is running. So that's how we work on the Route 53, guys. If you have a domain, if you have purchased any domain, then try to practice this scenario. And you can leverage an EC2 instance where you can host a simple index.html file. Even you can use the S3 bucket for hosting the static website and map it in the values of the record set. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Bye.